Hi, Ben and Nathan. I'm a longtime listener of the podcast and former Demon subscriber. I finished studying for the LSAT this summer after ending up with a 173 on the July test. Praise the Demon! Exclamation point. I'm now in the process of applying to schools and am aiming for somewhere in the top 20. By the way, this writer is very precise with everything that they're writing. I suspect you're a good writer. T14 or higher would be even better, but I am working with a 3.73 undergraduate GPA, which falls below the median at many of these schools. Since I no longer have an active Demon subscription, I appreciate the scholarships beta tool. I appreciate that the scholarships beta tool is accessible without an account. The tool indicates a less than encouraging scholarship outlook in the T14 with my numbers, which led me to wonder what effect a higher LSAT score would have on my prospects. When I trade my 173 for a 180, the only change in the T14 is at Duke, which moves from less than half to full tuition. Okay, by the way, the URL for that is lsatdemon.com/scholarships. Is it the case that at the top schools and with an LSAT score already above the 75th percentile, 1 to 7 extra LSAT points makes little difference in terms of an applicant's appeal? I understand the tool is still under development, but could also see how these results might be accurate, especially for someone like me, a so-called splitter. Any insight you have would be helpful in my planning. I do think I can score higher than a 173 if I waited to apply next year, but if that wouldn't make much of a difference, I'd have more peace of mind this cycle. It would also be good to know how much stock to place in this tool's predictions so I can be strategic about where to apply for scholarships that might provide leverage at my preferred schools. Thanks again for all your help and wisdom. I've heard on the podcast and in the community about a surge in high LSAT scores. If this is true, I fully believe LSAT Demon is a major contributing factor. It's the best prep out there, and I recommend it to everyone I meet who shows interest in law school. Warm regards, R. Wow, well, I'm glad you love the Demon. Thank you. We also believe it's the best tool out there, but I'm sure some people might disagree. In any case, I feel like you're putting too much stock into our estimator. Would you agree, Nathan?
Yeah, the estimator is going to get better over time. We just recently added a page that states our assumptions and asks for feedback. We were already asking for feedback, but now we're going to state our assumptions as well. And hopefully the community can help us to crowdsource an algorithm that makes the most sense. But we're guessing based on very incomplete data. So if you really want to dig in, I mean, rather than us going through it on the show, I think the best thing that people can do is just go to lsatdemon.com/scholarships with an S, and then click on the, play around with it, put in different numbers, see what it spits out, and then look at that assumptions page if you want to see exactly how we're making that sausage.
Yeah. Good luck, R.
How much faith to put in it? I don't know. Check out the assumptions and see what you think about those assumptions. It's meant to be a handy, why did we make it, Ben? We wanted people to be able to put in an LSAT and a GPA and hit submit and get some quick and dirty answers.
For what, maybe years now, we've been encouraging people to go look at the 509s, and they're looking at those numbers and they're coming up with rough guesses for what they think they should get. This is a rough guess, but it's at least based on some rules. And then as we tweak those rules, it should get better and better.
Yeah, we're doing bulk guessing for you. You should then it should be a jumping off point for your own investigations. If you're deciding whether to apply to a school or not, our estimator, if it gives you a high likelihood of a scholarship, then yeah, that one might be one to consider. But just because it doesn't give you a high likelihood of a scholarship doesn't mean you still can't consider it if it's your dream school or if it's the school in your backyard or whatever. And the truth is, you probably should be applying to 15 or 20 schools. So the estimator might suggest a few to you that you hadn't thought of. But that's about the best. It's just, it's not, it's not like we're taking incomplete data from the 509 stuff and we're tweaking it to try to give you an idea. It's the best we can do.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks for writing
All
in.
right.
Glad you kicked ass on the demon. I mean, what do you think about this though? Like, would you tell R to retake?
With a 173, possibly, because R could go above the 75th percentile for some top schools, and that might make a difference. I mean, R is still a splitter. I don't know, but I could see it helping.
Yeah,
if
I
R is
mean,
willing to.
UVA would love to be, mentioned in the same breath as Yale, Stanford, Harvard. So would Chicago. So would NYU. So would Columbia. So would all of the other schools in the top 14. And so that 173, if it goes above their 75th percentile, yeah, I mean, I think they have to think about you slightly differently for scholarship purposes at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Not only that, but for R particularly, you're already applying kind of late this cycle. You're going to hear this podcast in November. I've been hearing every day, the last couple of weeks, I've been hearing every day people telling me that they're admitted or telling me about their scholarship offers at various schools. I know that Wash U just sent out a whole bunch of scholarship offers. I had multiple people on the same day emailing me saying, hey, I got my full ride to Wash U. Hey, I got my full ride to Wash U.
Yeah.
And okay, so you're lining up behind those people who already got their offers in, as Anne Levine said on the show, the most competitive application cycle ever.
Yeah.
So if you can score higher and then apply at the beginning of the next cycle, instead of your good 173, but not like blow away the top 14, they're not going to look at a 173 and be like, oh my God, you're a rock star, right?
Yeah.
But with a 178, they might be like, oh shit, okay, well, we don't see that many of those. And if it was on September 1st of next cycle, which should be less competitive because there won't be all of the COVID deferrals. If it was my money or if I was in charge of R's career, I would absolutely wait till the beginning of the next cycle anyway. So, okay.
Cool.